Your relationships plus our relationships. Your capabilities plus our job site services. Your challenges plus our technical specialists. You alone can get the job done, but you plus Graybar, that's smart business. Yep, Graybar does that.
This is the Verizon Extra Innings Show. Verizon, the most reliable 5G in St. Louis.
Bednar from the stretch. The runner goes from first. The pitch is taken for strike three call. And this ball game has come to an end. The Pirates win 1-0.
Pirates 1, Cardinals nothing. The final score from PNC Park this evening. Nate Gatter with you for our Extra Innings Show on KMOX. If you want to be part of the Cardinals conversation, you can call us at 314-436-7900. That's 314-436-7900. Jonathan Camp is standing by in our studios to take your calls and put you on the air to talk Redbirds after the Cardinals are shut out for the second game in a row. They have just 11 hits, just one for extra bases in the two games in Pittsburgh this week. They went 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position tonight. They left 10 runners on base. That doesn't even count the 2 runners who were thrown out at home plate. Wilson Contreras to end the Cardinals' 4th inning. And then the 26th out, the penultimate Cardinals out, it was Jose Fermin thrown out on a bang-bang play on what turned out to be a fielder's choice ground ball by Victor Scott II. That was the second out in the 9th inning. Ultimately, Joel Pozo had a big pinch hit double in the 9th inning, was left stranded at third base 90 feet away as the potential tying run when Brendan Donovan struck out looking against David Bednar. Gave you those final totals during our network postgame. We'll get to them as well as this extra innings show goes on. And we will also, of course, get you set again for tomorrow morning's finale, 11:35 first pitch, 10:40 our pregame show. Sonny Gray pitching for the Cardinals, trying to salvage something from the series for the Redbirds tomorrow morning in Pittsburgh. Pirates 1, Cardinals nothing. Our final score from PNC Park this evening. The Cardinals out-hit the Pirates 7-4, but again, just one of those went for extra bases, and that was Mason Wynn doubling in the first inning. For the Cardinals, no runs, 7 hits, no errors, 10 men left on base. For the Pirates, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors, only 4 left stranded. The win went in relief to Isaac Mattson for the Pirates. He improved to 2-0. Phil Maton took the loss in relief for the Cardinals. He's now 1-3. David Bednar, as mentioned, got the save for the Pirates, his 12th. The game took 2 hours and 37 minutes. It was played in front of 19,631. That's 19,631, the paid crowd in Pittsburgh. Andre Palante visited with the media after the game in Pittsburgh. Let's hear from the Cardinals right-hander.
Yeah, definitely stuff was a lot better today. Mixing curveballs well. Fastball was sharp, got some inside there, got a big strike on Reynolds on it. Felt good. Defense was phenomenal today. I mean, Vic making good plays, Gorman make range into his left and getting that ball, that ground ball. Defense was great today.
You talk about not being predictable, and it looked like different locations, mixing and fixing. Is this as unpredictable as you've been this season, would you say?
Definitely the most unpredictable I've been in my career. I still think there's room for me to go. I threw a sweeper for the first time in the game today. I threw one of those in there, just trying to get that, some work just to see if I can get a better chase pitch to righties. Threw it to backstop, but got to throw one first before I can get a little bit more comfortable and start working on that in the game. I felt like moved the ball around well, and the defense was great.
Andre, does that begin with the feel that you have for your fastball that you put in different? Is it as simple as that? Just I feel good with the fastball coming out of warm-ups.
Usually, that's your baseline, right? So if your baseline feels good, it's usually a lot easier to manipulate the ball. Kind of all stems from that.
And you can put it in different locations.
Yeah, I try and be very aggressive with my four seam on the glove side half. Sometimes I move it away, sometimes I move it up. Didn't do a great job of throwing it up today, but then I can from there, I'm able to throw my other fastball on the arm side part of the plate and my spin under and stuff like that.
You've been there before, but does it even add anything when you're facing a guy like Skeens, or is that totally blacked out if you're being honest?
I'm worried about the hitters. The other pitcher, whatever they're doing, that's not within my control. They're going to do what they're going to do. I'm focused on the hitters I'm going to face and being the best version of myself for 100 pitches.
We continue to talk about the sequencing and the pitch mix. This is, I think, your third consecutive start where there's a continuous improvement in that usage. This one probably the best, just off the top of my head. I think it was 39 fastball or four-seamers and then 31 sliders mixed in the curveball and a sinker. When you get the success that you do tonight, how much confidence does that give you moving forward? Because I know this has been kind of a difficult process for you to get to.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, makes me excited to show up and work every day when I have like a goal in mind of where I want to get to and what I'm reaching for. And to have good results just feeds that even more. I just feel like, just keep working on that. And the one thing that I was talking about with one of our mental skills coach was one of the words it was called, like, just begin with the end in mind. And so kind of like, where do I see myself in 8 years, 9 years down the road? How is that pitcher going to be, and how do I make progress towards that? So I felt like that really helped me kind of clear up where I want to get to and, give me a clear target to.
That's Cardinals starter Andre Pallante speaking after the game today in Pittsburgh. Audio courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network Midwest. Pallante, of course, our Cardinals player of the game, really not even close tonight. He went 7 innings of one hit ball. He struck out 3 and walked 2. Continued, as we've talked about, his fantastic numbers against the Pirates in his career. Paul Skeens, meanwhile, continued to sort of do what he's done against the Cardinals, which is pitch pretty well, maybe not his normal standards, with 6 base runners, including 5 hits in 5 innings. Took him 88 pitches to get through those 5 innings, but he did not allow any runs. His ERA in the mid-2s for his career over 6 starts against St. Louis, but he is still without a victory. 0-4 lifetime against the Cardinals. He has picked up a couple of no decisions, including tonight, and in both of those no decisions, the Pirates have ultimately won the game. So they are 2-4 when Skeens starts against the Cardinals. Kind of an incredible number of times to have faced him already in his career. It's a combination of the success he's had, but also just luck of the draw that the Cardinals have seen him so many times, and that the Cardinals are the only team in the major leagues that even has multiple victories against Skeens, or against whom Skeens has multiple losses, I guess is the more accurate way to put it. There's something else interesting, by the way, I wanted to talk about that we didn't get a chance to get to in pregame because sometimes things are just busy when it comes to Skeens, and it has a Cardinals tie-in. So his ERA is now down to 2.03 after 5 scoreless innings tonight, but he's just 4-7. That's a winning percentage of .364. The worst winning percentage ever for a pitcher with a league-leading ERA is .357. As it stands right now, Paul Skeens would win the earned run average championship in the National League. He has the lowest ERA of any National League pitcher, and the lowest winning percentage ever for a league ERA champion is .357, and that belonged to then young Cardinals left-hander Joe McGrain, who went 5-9 in 1988 despite having a 2.18 ERA that led not only the National League but the major leagues. Skeens, potentially, if he loses his next start but can keep that ERA under 2.18 in the process, would be in position to potentially break that record, or would be in a spot that would break the record if he holds it all the way to the end of the year. Obviously, that's not an honor that Skeens is looking for, but an interesting Cardinals tie-in, and probably some folks remember that 1988 McGrain season when he was so terrific and yet had a losing record at 5-9, a losing record by a comfortable margin, a winning percentage of .357 within the ballpark of where Skeens is right now at 4-7. Told you we'd talk about the finale and what's coming up. By the way, if you want to be part of the Cardinals conversation, you can tweet us at KMOX Sports. You can also call 314-436-7900. That's 314-436-7900. You can chat as well across any of our streams on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and we will get to your comments on the show. In the meantime, want to look ahead to tomorrow when Sonny Gray will be on the mound for the Cardinals. That's an 11:35 Central Time first pitch tomorrow morning. 10:40 our pregame coverage will commence. Sonny Gray will go for the Cardinals. He has been so good for the Redbirds this year, 8-2 with a 3.36 earned run average. He'll go against Mitch Keller, the right-hander for Pittsburgh, who is 2-10 with a 3.9 ERA on the year. Sonny, I say, has been so good this year, and he has been. He's been incredible of late. His last 7 starts, 4-1 with a 2.06 ERA. And his last start, of course, was the Maddox, as they call it. 9-inning, 1-hit shutout with 11 strikeouts on just 89 pitches to get through the complete game shutout against Cleveland over the weekend. And he was just the 1 hit away from perfection, just 1 base runner against Sonny Gray. 28 came up for the Guardians, 27 went down. We'll see what Sonny has in store to try to keep that momentum going. It speaks in some ways to how good his last 7 starts have been, that there was one outlier in there as well, which was his start a couple of outings ago against Milwaukee on June the 12th when he allowed those 6 runs over 4 1/3 innings. Despite that, he has been so good. 6 of his last 7 outings have been at least good, if not great. 5 out of those have been quality starts. 3 of them, I should say 4, he has gone 6 innings or more without allowing a run. 2 in May against Detroit and Arizona, 2 in June against the Dodgers and the Guardians. He'll try to keep that momentum going tomorrow morning against Mitch Keller and the Pittsburgh Pirates. 11:35 Central Time first pitch and a 10:40 pregame show across the Cardinals radio network. That's What's on Deck, sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have, the very best, chesterfieldfence.com. The Cardinals fall 1-0 to the Pirates in Pittsburgh tonight. So frustrating where they are now. It's been this kind of year for the Cardinals, right? Even going back to when they lost 7 out of 8, including 6 in a row. Then they turned around and won 7 out of 8. And you look back at an entire fortnight worth of baseball, almost 3 weeks worth of baseball, and say to yourself, what was accomplished here? A low and then a high, and ultimately 500 baseball over an extended stretch. But still, look, for all the frustration, the Cardinals are 7 games above 500. They're 47-40, which is probably better than most folks would have expected at this time coming into the year, and certainly better than most folks would have expected when they stumbled out to that poor start and were 5 games under 500 in May. Everything has kind of flipped. And coming into this Pirates series, they had the best record in baseball since May the 4th when they swept a doubleheader from the Mets at Busch Stadium. Obviously, back-to-back losses knocks them off that perch. But nonetheless, there's been a lot of good this year, and in particular over the last 2 months for the Cardinals, and a couple of frustrating losses does not do away with that. And we've seen the Cardinals respond from frustration. Nonetheless, back-to-back losses and a likely Cubs win. They lead 5-2 in the 8th over Cleveland up at Wrigley. Will drop the Cardinals to 4 games out of first place in the National League Central. They'll want a response tomorrow from Sonny Gray in the finale, then the day off on Thursday, and they will head to Wrigley on Friday for a 3-game series with the Cubs. That'll do it for us tonight. Hope you'll be with us 10:40 for our pregame tomorrow, 11:35 first pitch. For Johnny Camp and all of us here at KMOX, Nate Gatter saying good night. This has been the Extra Innings Show. Stay with us on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hey, facility managers. At Graybar, we're not just one of the largest distributors of electrical and datacom parts in North America. We're your connection to help make your building